we would be hoping that Japan will step up their effort to help resolve the Rohingya crisis. We know the historical bondage, the relationship that you have or had or will be having if there is a brief pause because of the changes in Myanmar. With Myanmar, you are one of the countries who can really bring some meaningful changes towards repatriation and a lasting solution. The achievements of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government is absolutely phenomenal, and that with that comes some challenges. Bangladesh need to keep up with that very high aspiration that we went on to create in last 15 years. Because we have delivered so much, people will be expecting us to do even more if we are to last another 15 years, double what we have achieved in previous 15 years. It's not going to be easy, but only friends like Japan can help us to achieve that goal. I wondered whether it is just the 1971, do not misunderstand or misquote me when I say just the 1971, but is that great Bengali from Kushtia, Radha Binod Pal, who laid the foundation of this famous people-to-people contact. Now, people who are not aware of Radha Binod Pal, he was member of one of the UN Law Commission that was responsible to carry out the famous Tokyo trial, and he was the only judge in the panel who thought that some of the accusations made against the Japanese soldiers and the then wartime Prime Minister wasn't fully established or justified. There are terrible parts past of our history in the world, in the evolution during the First World War and Second World War, and many of us can reflect and regret and do not necessarily want to revisit. Now, even one of my own way to describing Bangladesh economy, which you mostly agree, lies on three pillars. Of course, one is agriculture, the other one is exports, and the third one is our human resources, the manpower. And it's a vast market, but we had very little footprint, when it comes to Japan. It's again, late Shinzo Abe gave Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina a very patient hearing during one of the sideline meeting at the UNGA in one of those very small cubicles for the pull-away sideline meetings, as we say. And he listened to Prime Minister and myself for more than like 20-25 minutes, and he went on to describe, and I was so amazed and consumed that, yeah, it's obvious that Japan needs help because the population is growing, but at the same time, you want to do everything possible to make sure it's not just those regular ones, that it's orderly and trained and this and that, because Japanese culture, the Japanese society, the way people behave and interact is, I'm not too sure how to describe this, but it's very unique. Japanese student to save their tiffin money to help support the war-ravaged Bangladesh and partially to fund, if possible, the war of liberation itself. I do not have the answer. Now, Pari, one of the things that you could do, I'm not too sure whether you're fond of revisiting the past, but that's something I think once and for all we should do that research, that what prompted. Now, we know that our founding father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and the reason I'm wearing this black badge is that we are observing the month of mourning, and it's almost coming to an end, but it's a mourning that we continue to do 365 days of a year, but at the same time we try and celebrate the things that he left and did for us throughout his life. Is that he went on to set up a kind of international committee to take the messages of Bangladesh and the aspiration of the government and the plan and possible recognition if we at the end win the war, which we of course did through a lot of sacrifices, sacrifice of 3 million martyrs and over 200,000 our mothers and sisters and daughters who made supreme sacrifices.